that we can probably start. I'm just seeing that Rosalba is trying to connect the audio. Yeah, just maybe a short comment for today. As we are doing the recording of this session, I would ask you not to, let's say, open your camera and not to show your faces, because we have some data privacy concern. So only those people who gave a consent might show their faces, let's say. Okay, then I believe we will start. For those who don't know me, I'm Anna Leonova. I'm a chapter leader of Bocconi Alumni in Vienna. And today we have a pleasure to talk on our first webinar of the series Women in STEM Career Success Factors with Vera Solomatina. Vera is an HR director at SAP Italy, Greece, and I believe also Cyprus. This is what I learned from your LinkedIn profile. And yeah, Vera will tell us a little bit more about her career path and about women and diversity at SAP and also in the whole IT industry. Maybe I can just make this short comment, but Vera, you will tell a little bit more about your career. But Vera is originally from Russia, and she used to work also as an HR director for SAP CIS. So she has quite a lot of experience and in the intercultural environment and in the international company, international companies, I assume. And yeah, so maybe now over to you, Vera. Just maybe a short comment also for our participants. You might write your questions in the chat, so we will read them also during the presentation in case maybe if you have some comments to specific slides, then we will read these questions. If not, then other questions will be, there will be possibility to ask them at the end of the presentation. So, okay, then Vera, over to you. And welcome.
Thank you so much. So colleagues, I would say hello to everybody, good evening, buonasera. I'm Vera Solomatina, and a few words about myself. So I'm the Human Resources Director for SAP cluster Italy, Greece, and Cyprus, which is in EMEA South region of SAP here. So I'm working for SAP more than four years. So I have started as Human Resources Director for SAP CIS, which is Russia and several former Soviet Union republics. And also I have very huge experience, very big experience across IT companies. I worked for Luxoft company, part of DXC brand, which is very big globally software developers company as HR director for Russia, Bulgaria, Vietnam, Singapore, and Malaysia. And also before this, I worked for 10 years for OSG Records Management, which is a company who is dealing with both electronic and paper archives of its customers. So I was named top one HR director within IT sphere in Russia in year 2020 and 2019. We have very big award of 1,000 best Russian managers, and so I'm in. My career is in the slide, and I would like also to have any questions about IT sector, IT market in Russia, and how HR is doing, what is about diversity in Russia, in IT sphere, and women in STEM, etc., etc. And in case you would like to see my LinkedIn profile, it's in the bottom of this slide. So colleagues, and I would like maybe to say a few words, not giving very deep, deep analysis, or maybe just to highlight what is the purpose of SAP in diversity and inclusion, what SAP is doing for diversity and inclusion within the company, and what are the projects we are leading. So then after Anna will ask questions to me, and also I'm always welcome your questions from the auditory, because I believe that only the open communication is the best way to communicate to each other. Okay, colleagues, so let's start. What we are thinking in SAP about diversity and inclusion. So our mission is to make the world run better, to improve people's lives. And so what is written here? We help best run businesses make the world run better. How we can do this? We can do this through diversity and inclusion also. So I will tell today what diversity and inclusion matters to SAP, how do we implement this, and what we are doing for women and leadership. So we're thinking about three topics together. Why we are doing so many efforts about diversity and inclusion. First of all, this increases the employee engagement, and as the HR director knows a lot about this. You know that I see the examples when we have different teams which are thinking differently, which can create something new, which support each other, which exchange the information and exchange the experience. I see that the level of engagement, level of retention, level of productivity in these teams really increases. So employee engagement is one of the topics why we're working with diversity and inclusion. The second topic is that innovation process within such teams increases dramatically because we are innovation company. We are giving to our customers best companies in the world, best innovation solutions. And so that's why the innovation inside the company is so important for us. And we believe that in case different people are working in our innovation teams, they gain more interesting ideas to SAP and to our customers. And the third topic is that our customers, they are different and they want to see in their providers, also in SAP as a provider, people who can support their needs, who can support their ideas, who are thinking like the customers are thinking. So that's why it's also important to have different people and to show to our customers that we are committed to diversity and inclusion. So colleagues, I believe that the auditory is very professional, is very highly educated, and we all know why we all using diversity and inclusion, this strategy in our businesses. So I do not want to put so many attention to the theory, and I would like to go to the facts, to some projects. What are interesting things we are doing in SAP? So several figures that maybe all of you are that are well known for you. So a lot of sales believes that diversity and inclusion strategy increases the performance. More than half of sales think that diversity impacts culture in their organizations in a positive way. And different figures that are proving the words of diversity and inclusion value for the companies. So what are we as SAP now? So we have more than 100,000 employees right now. We have 5 generations within our company. We have more than 100 nationalities. Actually, we have 33% of women in the workforce. From my point of view, it's maybe 34. We are increasing and we are making very big steps in this direction. So not taking into account the topic of women leadership, but also talking about different types of diversity and inclusion in our company, we are the leaders in a very interesting project at SAP Autism at Work, and more than 150 colleagues with autism are now working in SAP worldwide, including Russia. So it's a very interesting figures that leads us to understanding that big companies need to include diversity and inclusion strategies into their corporate life, because more than 100 nationalities, more than 1/3 of women into the company, they lead us to understanding that we need to support and we need to think in this direction. So 4 topics in SAP we are covering now very carefully. So it's gender intelligence. I have told you on the previous slide that we have 5 genders, generations. And so gender intelligence, it's about women in leadership, women in techniques. We are supporting also our fathers, because we are supporting not only women, but men also. So all cross-generational intelligence topics, because we have 5 generations, as I told you before, and it's very important that the person who has already graduated from the university and the experienced person who are working for SAP for 20, 25 years, they will have the same positive experience of using everything within SAP. So the third topic is that about culture and identity of people of different types of identity. And the fourth topic is that differently abled people. So in this topic, company is working a lot. So we have a lot of programs to support people, to hire, to engage people of different abilities into the company. So my favorite project is Autism at Work, but not the topic of today's talk. So let's stick to the next slide. And so most of you potentially knows this diversity and inclusion maturity model. So we as SAP now on the stage of going into leader-led stage. So we are going to this integrated stage, and we are on a very good level of achievement these stages. So we are including our customers all the time into our diversity and inclusion agenda. I can say that in my experience with the different countries across SAP, I see that we support our customers, we support the markets with diversity and inclusion topics. For example, in Russia, we have special award for social entrepreneurship. Within this award, we have a special nomination for women in social entrepreneurship. And so we support women who support people with disabilities, for example, and we give them some knowledge about innovation, some knowledge about how to create their own business using SAP products, using technologies, innovations. We make a lot of pro bono actions to support such projects. So we are dealing together with our customers, with the market, to increase all this awareness and all these diversity and inclusion topics, not only within SAP, not living in our little world, 100,000 people only thinking about, diversity and inclusion, women leaders, different labeled people, but we are spreading this knowledge, we are spreading this culture outside SAP, and it seemed to me we succeed somehow. So what we are doing, especially for women leadership at SAP, because you know that women agenda is very important for us. We have not so many women in technology in SAP right now, so it's something about 33 or 34%. And so our target is to increase here. And also we're thinking about women in leadership and creating a lot of projects on this topic. So let's stick to the topic. But first of all, honestly saying, I wanted to include in this presentation, but I didn't do it, unfortunately. One picture that I had made in the very first day of my work in SAP Italy. I went to the office by car, and there was a parking slot, a big parking near the office, and the parking slot was marked by pink letters, and it was written in Italian, and I especially used the translator in my phone, and I understand that near the office there are parking slots that dedicated especially to women. And I asked the facility manager what is the reason behind this. And they told me that some women, they want to have better parking places, to have shorter distance to the office, because they wear a baby, they're pregnant, they have high heels, they have maybe some notebook with them. And it's a little thing, some parking for women near the office. It's very, how to say, minor thing. But it shows so great respect to women. This shows so great understanding of how to support women. It was so interesting. I'm crying. I'm so sorry.
Initially, when we saw these places also in Germany with my colleagues, they said, "Oh, we know that these places are also larger." So there were some jokes like made around, okay, whether women are good drivers or not. But I believe, yeah, what you're saying is really right around like maybe there are some conditions like pregnancy or anyway, it's better to have such places closer to the office. So.
Exactly, because when you're going on these high heels with notebook and some things with you, okay, that it's a good signal, So from my point of view, it's a good signal of respect of this topic into the market unit. But so what we are talking about women leadership at SAP. So we have a target. Everybody knows. So we need to achieve 30% next year, 30% of women in leadership. And so we are going in the right direction. We are doing a lot of things. We're receiving a lot of awards. This is also very important for us. But what we are doing, I would like to say about two big parts. So we're cooperating in this with different different companies, funds, etc. And we are doing a lot of internal things. So what we are doing externally. We are cooperating with the women in big data communities. So we are now on the way to establish a chapter in Italy, but in Russia we had great cooperation between several biggest IT companies who has big data practices. So we had very huge amount of events on mentoring to support young ladies who want to do career within big data, some technological seminars to share their ideas, to share their experience, to share some technological things, etc. So it seemed to me that these women in big data, and I know that we have women in STEM, etc., these special communities that are dedicated to some specific knowledge and giving the women opportunity to socialize, to receive the right mentor, to ask the right questions. How can I develop my career? What can be my next step? What else can I learn from society, from education, etc. This is very important because I know that not so many ladies are thinking to make the career within technology, and so such communities, they help ladies to grow with it. So what else we are doing? So we have started, it seems to me last year, cooperation with the he for she movement. So we have started to do a lot of workshops across the company where our talented men are discussing with our talented women how men can support parity. Parity in work, parity in payment, parity in social life, personal life, etc. So I see very high level of commitment of SAP men who participated in these workshops to establish parity. So it's very important for us. Also, what else we have done? Google company, they have created fantastic workshop. I am remarkable. So I admire this. This is the workshop that is dedicated only to women, and women can connect to each other, and with the support of the facilitator, can speak up about their achievements. Because usually, what do they see? In case a woman that is doing something, she's telling, it's not me, it's the team, it's my manager, it's God, everybody, but not myself. When the man is telling about his achievements, he's telling, it's me, I'm a good guy, I did everything myself, So there is some interesting topic that was investigated, several years ago, and we created special community and special place for women to ask them to tell about their achievements. And honestly saying, from my point of view, this experience for women are very important because they start to speak about their achievements, and they take the commitment to speak about their achievements in their personal life, to their managers, to their colleagues. It's very important to support this. And the fourth activity that we are doing in cooperation, this month we have started to cooperate with Lean In network. So I'm in Italy, so we have started to cooperate with Milan network. And so we had a commitment to create Lean In circles within our company to speak up, to talk about how to create a career, how to apply on the position, how to ask for promotion, how to ask for increase of the payment, all this interesting topic that women want to discuss with each other. And this is a very good, I'm so sorry, colleagues are living in the office.
No problem.
Yeah.
It's just light background noise. It's fine.
Okay.
You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. And so these are very interesting communities that we are participating in, driving, communicating with, etc. So we are doing a lot of external work. But what we are doing in terms of internal work, it's just very briefly understanding what we are doing in the life cycle of the employee. So we are thinking who we are hiring, how we are managing people, whom do we develop, how we recognize people, who we are promoting, and why people are leaving. So we are doing all the stuff. We are thinking about this. You know that we have special, software for this. We're SAP. We're creating software. We're selling software. So we're using our own software. It's great. But what is interesting here? What is interesting here? So we are controlling, checking on every step of our life in SAP. What is going on? What is the gender pay gap? Why more people, why more men are applying on the position than women? Yeah, what to do to encourage, to inspire women to apply for the position? So we can take all the information, because as you remember from our first slide, we are more than 100,000 people. So we can create some statistics on this, and we can see what is going on and how to increase the awareness of our projects, etc., etc. And what interesting things we are doing right now. Yeah, so we have special talent intelligence stream, which purpose is to find the future talents for SAP. And one of the first purposes for them is to find talented women. So just not an advertisement, but to using the platform. So in case some talented women, or maybe some talented men from this community who are listening now, in case you would like to apply for some positions, so we have a special stream for the future talents. In case you would like to know better about SAP, our positions, etc., in the last slide there will be a QR code. You can go and see our corporate site. But in any case, there is a special project when we are talking to the talented women on the market and thinking how to give them the career opportunities within SAP. So also we are creating every year a Talent Win event. And also this Talent Win event is dedicated to women talents on the market. So honestly saying, the last year when we created this event physically, it was 2019, because COVID ruined all our plans for previous year. But every year we are tending to collect women, not only for getting in touch with SAP, but also to network together. And very interesting pairs are connected, mentors and mentees, customers and providers, all the stuff. So it's very interesting socializing network event. So what else we are doing? Very interesting projects in terms of growing ladies within SAP. So we are doing job sharing and we are doing co-leadership projects. What are these? So this is the role, one full-time employee job. And we let our women split this job together, 50% and 50%, and do one job together. Who's interested? ladies who are returning from maternity leave, who want to go into their working life, but not spending so much time on their career. They want to go into their career very slightly, very smoothly, So they want to work half a day, but the work requires a day. So they can shift and they can share their job with the different ladies or men from other departments just to do one FTA job, 50 and 50%. So this is the same process, but not with something with different purposes about co-leadership. So what is co-leadership? When the leadership position is divided into two people, into two people, into two women, and women can mentor each other. Women can exchange their knowledge, exchange their experience. They can do everything they want to increase their knowledge and to increase the efficiency of the position. So what else we're doing? Project Nominate Jasmine. It's incredible because in case the position is opened, everybody from the company can nominate a woman to be a candidate for this position. We are not waiting that every single woman will apply, because we know that sometimes women are a little bit shy, they're not so bold, they are not, they're thinking they are not fit to the position, for some reason. And we let every employee in the company nominate a woman for this position, to be a candidate. So recruiter can know that there are talented women who are not applying right now, but their colleagues are telling that these ladies can be proper.
Vera, and what happens then if this person really doesn't want? Then
But
people come to her and say, "Oh, we want you in this position," and says, "No, I don't want."
But
We have other
honestly
things
saying,
to do.
recruiters are talking, because in case we see that the profile fits and the person doesn't want, we are not, buying this person. We are not taking this person but we need to give this chance. We need to tell to women that there is an opportunity. We will be ready to see. We will be happy to see her. All this stuff. So what else? We are increasing mentorship, women mentorship within the company. So we are inviting brilliant speakers, internal speakers. And I know that after one of our speaking events, one managing director of our company, she received a huge amount of requests to be a mentor because she was so inspiring. She talked about her career, of using her personal life together with with her career, how she advanced all this. It was so interesting. So we promote mentorship because I believe that in mentorship there is a future of development within the company. And so also we're supporting equal pay project right now because we are carefully collecting all the information and we are thinking how to make all this process very transparent to see that ladies are equally paid as men. So we need to be ensured 100%, but it's more, how to say, mathematical project, so to calculate, not only taking into account one man and one woman and to compare them, but compare also the years of working, to compare the how to say, years of working on every level of the position. We are not comparing the payment, but the tenure, and if women are promoted as well as men promoted. So we are taking into consideration different topics, and it's very interesting because our total rewards, they're working for this for more than 1 year, and the results can be very great. And what we are doing about socialize, as I told, that we are talking with the different communities, but also we have women in tech at SAP. So we are very good in sales as a company, and so we have inside business women network for women who are in business, who are networking customers faced, and they are together supporting each other, how to be successful and how to create their career. And also, we are creating the communities of moms and SAP and dads at SAP. So we're supporting not only women, whom we're talking about last 30 minutes, but also men in the company. So colleagues, from my point of view, no, I'm so sorry, the advertisement. So colleagues, in case you would like to have some opportunity to see our positions opened in the company, so you can see our career portal and all the positions are published, and women are highly welcome on all the positions in company. And so I would like to pay your
Thank you,
attention.
Vera.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I would like
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Maybe
no
you
problem, no problem.
didn't yet finish. Yeah, sure.
And I would like to pay your attention to the project that we have already launched at Sales Academy, that we are studying every year in SAP. And the Sales Academy is for 2-3 years experienced sales, both women and men. In case you know anybody who would like to increase and to boost his career in sales with SAP, so you're highly welcome. It seems to me that there will be a link in case you will push this fantastic picture with a young lady who is looking like Steve Jobs, but not in the black sweater, but in the white sweater. I like this picture so much. So colleagues,
Yeah.
now it seemed to me that I clicked on this. Okay, no problem. So here you can see my contacts. It was so big pleasure to talk to you about the diversity, inclusion, and women leadership in SAP. So Anna, the stage is yours.
Yeah,
In
I
case you
believe
have
we
any
will
questions.
now kick off the questions. Meanwhile, I just want to remind to those people who joined a little bit later that you can write your questions in the chat as we are performing a recording. So I will need to, let's say, speak up, and after the recording is finished, we can also speak up in public with the questions. But meanwhile, maybe I will start with the first question, a bit tricky one. Let's say few years ago with SAP, we had an issue, or let's say a scandal, when we used to have almost equal number of people at as members of board. But then suddenly all female leaders left, and I believe this provoked a lot of kind of negative effects in mass media and some reputational issues. And now the situation has recovered. There are few more ladies in SAP's board of management board. But how would you comment this situation? What actually happened, and maybe also some comment, side comment on this. On this, normally it's also perceived that, for example, women can only take several types of roles inside the management boards. For example, I don't know, marketing, HR, by the way. So, do you believe this is something that will change soon, or like what's your point of view on this?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's a really tough question. Thank you for this. So, honestly saying, I see that company is doing a lot in this direction to increase the amount of women in leadership positions, and they're actually doing a lot because I'm an HR. I'm inspiring business for all these topics. That situation that you are talking about, that two ladies from board was exchanged to other two ladies from board. It seemed to me that people can change their job and can boost their career. And it seemed to me that new ladies who entered the company, they benefit the company because it's diverse, experience. And I would like to say maybe about HR position that Sabine Bindeck, who entered the company, she's a really great leader, and she's not actually from HR. She's from business. She has experience. Her previous role was managing director for Germany. She was not the HR person, yeah, and that's why I see that company benefit a lot, because we started to take people with a diverse, not only gender, but we're starting to hire people with a diverse experience. And that is really great. Now I see what benefit people from business can bring to HR. I cannot speak about other board areas, so deeply as I can talk about HR, but I see that we will miss our former CHROs, but Sabine is really great. So this is life. Everything is changing, but we are going in this direction.
So you believe it was not on purpose, but it was rather than like, let's say, some kind of just sequence of facts and yeah. Okay, we have the first question from the audience, from Sylvia Cherry. What is the project about, mom and dad? I think this is something that you mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah. So we are making the community of people who are parents and who want to exchange some experience, to exchange some knowledge, or they have similar, how to say, not requirements maybe, but similar challenges, similar requests, so because in different locations, SAP, for example, is providing some kindergarten services, yeah, and so such communities helps SAP to choose best provider, to think about if there are any need in the office to have the place where a woman can bring her baby, for example, and make some exchange, so it's the community to exchange knowledge between the people who are inside, and also to help SAP to think how we can be better for our parents, what we can else do to support in their lives. Because so many challenges that parents will face during the self-isolation, I cannot express, because I'm also a mother, and I know that some mothers were sitting and working, and their kids were pushing their doors with cries like, "Mama, mama, why are you not playing with me? Why are you sitting with this computer?" And so, honestly saying, a lot of people were happy to receive some, advice, to receive some, maybe not physical, but psychological support in this case. So that's the purpose of these communities.
So it's more like, I would not say mental health, but some kind of self-help community rather than some program.
Yeah.
Maybe there are some initiatives also related to parental leave for men, or do you have something like this also?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you so much. So in different countries, we have different options. The topic is the following, that, for example, in Russia, any man can go to parental leave, but the payment due to the legislation will be very low, as women will receive this, yeah? And so the company supported both women and men in their paternity leaves with some amount of days. So in Italy, but in any case, paternity leave in Russia is not so well known and spread within the community, even if there are technological companies who are well educated, very broad mindset, even in IT companies. In Italy, it's a different situation, because when I entered, I understand that a lot of fathers are taking paternity leave as an option. And SAP support parents and fathers also in this initiative. So we are giving some amount of days. I cannot just tell right now, because it's some figure, but we are giving some days or months for paternity leave, so father can support his kid and his family in this period of time. And in my department, when I came, 2 men were on a paternity leave. I had 2 men in the department, and they both were on a paternity leave. So we support.
So it exists. Okay,
Yeah,
understood.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Then maybe, I don't know, coming to you personally, Vera. So you had, as I know from one of your interviews that you gave to some Russian mass media, you started not in HR, right? But you had a bit different education as a lawyer. So what brought you to the, let's say, technology and technological companies and to HR? And yeah, so this would be the first question, and then the second would be more about your career path and what is expected from, let's say, female leaders, or even not leaders, but just female human resources who are entering the technology firm.
Okay, let's stick to the first question about my personal career. So yeah, honestly saying, I have a legal education. I'm a lawyer of civil law in Russia, but I'm a little bit, how to say, I was born not so, I'm not so young. So at that time when I have received the education in Russia, there was no human resources education at all as a class. And so civil law was a good start for also HR career, because a lot of things that time in Russia were connected to the labor law. And I started my career as a person who was dealing within the company with the issues connected with the labor law. So it was very close to my first education. It was not so different, that I was an engineer by my education and then I came to medicine. Yeah, so it's not so opposite. It was very close. And then after I have received additional, educations that are closer to human resources, some psychologically management, etc. But honestly saying that HR attracted me that time because it was a very interesting, how to say, mixture of knowing people, of knowing legislation, of knowing technology, because in Russia it was a boom of technologies in HR one time. And so this mixture gives me the understanding that HR is a very interesting profession, because we're dealing with documents, with legislation, with people, with technologies, with business customers, with authorities, with the market, all this stuff. So from my point of view, HR is one of the most interesting professions in the world. And so that's why I left legal career, even it was not, started, and go into HR career. So that is about myself. And can you please repeat one more time the second part of the question?
Sure, sorry for this. Yeah, the second part of the question was more like about young ladies, or even not young ladies, who are joining the technology firms. Like, what are major requirements for them, for example, to enter SAP? Like, maybe we can refer not only to female talents, but in general to all people. What are, let's say, the major skills that are requested now by SAP from people who want to enter the firm?
Honestly saying, I would like to tell maybe general experience of SAP overall, because we are assessing the values, the behaviors, and we believe that the right people with the right behaviors can benefit company, and company also can benefit to such people. So our behaviors are I'm so sorry. I was not the people are coming. So be curious, stay curious, build bridges, not silos. Um, um, mm, Colleagues, I'm not ready to name them all. I'm so sorry right now. So we are assessing people by our behaviors. That's the first thing. So then after, we are looking at the potential and the willing of the person to develop himself. Because from our understanding, we cannot put person into the heaven and tell him, please develop yourself. So the person need uh, to have the potential to develop himself, herself, and we will give all the portfolio, all the options. We admire people um, who are growing their career, who are searching for different opportunities within the company to make a fellowship, to make mentoring, to have a job rotation, whatever. So we admire such people. Uh, what else? We like people with an innovative mindset, so who are thinking differently, who are um, uh, thinking how to make the world run better. You know what I mean. And in any case, even if it is a lady or a man, so we are both searching for talented women and men also, we are looking for the people who like to interact with others, who like to give knowledge, to share the knowledge, to who are interested to develop others, you know. So it's like cooperative approach. So such people are highly welcome in SAP. And so honestly saying, I see that people who are entering SAP, they're really great. So
Yeah, maybe just another question. Once you already entered, let's say, do you see after you made this analysis you were talking about, like how long is the person staying within the company, a woman or a man? Are there really some, let's say, differences that a person can notice once you do some comparative analysis? For example, that women do not really get promotion that quickly, or it's totally, let's say, regardless of gender? And what are you doing, let's say, to improve this situation probably? And yeah.
You know, we have done
suggest
very
something.
interesting survey in Russia. We asked our women, what do you think about promotion in SAP, and how many times have you applied for the new positions within SAP? And so we have received very interesting answers that women in Russia was telling us. We have no promotion in SAP at all, no promotion. How many times you applied on new position? We have never applied on new position. And the question is, why you have not applied on the position? And different answers, you know. And so we understand that such projects as Nominate Jasmine, that I have mentioned on the previous slide, that this will help some women to express their feeling of importance of the career, of importance of raising their hands, you know. So this was very interesting finding, because everybody is talking, we are not promoted, we are not promoted. Okay, please apply for the position. Nobody applies, you know. And so it was very interesting what to do to inspire women to apply for the positions. So, you know, the very interesting thing have done our consulting in Russia. They have made the second, how to say, management team. Because in the management team, there was like 6 men and 2 women. And they have made second management team that were in which there were only women. And they have met, this management team have met every week. But 1 week of the month, they let this second management team to make all the decisions. So they gave to these women, they were successors, they were catalysts, some leaders, you know, the opportunity to make the decision. So they gave them the opportunity to speak up, to discuss, to feel themselves as they are the managers of the consulting services. And you know, it was very interesting experiment, because this gives women the opportunity to behave like managers of the higher level, and this gave them the opportunity to feel how managers are acting, what they are doing, which decisions they're making. And so we gave them this opportunity, and from my point of view, this gives them confidence that they can apply for such positions because they have tried this. And these shadowing, fellowship, job rotation, when we give the people opportunity to try, not only this is a strange position, apply for this, not only like, you know, this action item, but when we are giving the opportunity to try another job, to pick it, to touch it, you know, this is the future from my point of view of giving the career opportunities within the company. Yeah, and that was very interesting insight after asking women, why are you not applying for the position? So From
But at the same time, a lot of people believe that there is something artificial, even women themselves, in creating of such initiatives for women, etc. So how do you explain this? So is it something that you also experience at SAP?
honestly saying, I have heard some men who were telling me, why do we not pay so much attention for my promotion? I want also to be promoted. I'm not a woman, but also please pay attention that I'm not promoted for 10, 15 years. So we give equal opportunities to everybody, but I see that sometimes to women we need to support them. In case any man would like to have support from HR and would like to discuss the promotion, the career path, anything, we are totally open to do this. But I see that ladies need to be supported a little bit more. So that's why, in case I would have the request from my men who are requesting to create a community, men and leadership, something like this, we will do it.
What or who helped you on your career path to, let's say, uh, to reach success? Like, I don't know, did you have a mentor, or so from where did you get, let's say, not inspiration, but sometimes we need some, how to say, push towards something new. So
Honestly saying that I have great managers all the time of my career. So I learn a lot from my managers. Uh, One time I had a mentor. It was more like a technological mentor than soft skills mentor, but also I learned a lot about how to deal with people, how to make the technical task, how to set the technical task, all this stuff. And honestly saying, I'm in the position that everybody is a teacher. And honestly saying, Anna, right now I am learning from you how to moderate such sessions, and I really admire your manner. And honestly saying, I will take something from you. And it seemed to me that
thank you.
it seemed to me that the person need to educate every minute of his life. The person, the human, the woman, man, and so everybody can be a mentor, and I can teach from everybody. But the most success my managers give to me.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I would like to encourage other people also to ask their questions in the chat, because I believe there were no more questions after Sylvia asked her own question. But yeah, so you mentioned an interesting thing about the technical knowledge. Is this possible that people, for example, because a lot of women are still learning something very like humanitarian, how to call it, humanities. Sometimes maybe they might not feel right fit, as you mentioned, for a technological company to enter. Is there something like for people like this who can still, for example, enter SAP and cope with this technical knowledge using some programs? So I don't know, some mentorship or something like that. So how do you treat such talents?
Honestly saying, great question, because I have seen several examples of my life of changing the career dramatically, and my favorite example is a lady from finance department who was sitting in finance department for years, and she decided to change something in her life inside SAP. And she gained some knowledge about design thinking, session moderation. Then she became a design thinking coach. Then she gained some knowledge about Scrum, and she became a Scrum master, not having any technical education, only financial. Then she decided to switch her career to consulting, software consulting, software implementation consulting. And with her great knowledge of finance, she went in the consulting team, into the practice that were dealing with the financial customers. And she was admired by financial customers because she knows the subject matter. She was subject matter expert. And using her knowledge, her gained inside SAP knowledge of design thinking, of Scrum coaching, etc., she started to facilitate the workshops about creating new procedures, new um, products inside the SAP installment projects. And so then after, she made great career within technological consulting because she has this basic knowledge of finance. And then after, she gained a lot of knowledge, soft skills and hard skills within SAP ecosystem. Now she's a great professional. I admire her. She's very great. And this is the thing that every person can change in his life, just to decide, I'm not a humanitarian, I'm not a technological person, I just want to build my career within interesting things. I want to change something in my life. And so everything is possible from my point of view. But SAP supports this a lot because we do not have silos. We support cross-functional cooperations, and we support the education in cross-functions. That's why the person from finance, from financial departments who are dealing with invoices, all this stuff, she had a very easy opportunity to receive the knowledge from some trainings that are in SAP portfolio for all of the employees, to receive some knowledge and to gain the opportunity in the other department of SAP. So it is open market where people can find their career opportunities very easily, and we support this.
Yeah, I believe we are already on top of an hour, but I will still ask some last question, and I still encourage people to ask another questions in the chat. It's your last chance, girls and guys. But I cannot not touch this topic because we are already in this COVID situation for more than 1.5 years. How did it change the work environment at SAP and your personal life? Okay, you are now in Milan, so you managed even to relocate during these COVID times, and you are sitting in the office, etc. But I believe like in different countries, the situation is different. And what we learned is that normally women, especially those with kids, really suffered a lot during this period because they were performing double or triple work at home. So how does SAP resolve this problem, and how you resolve it for yourself?
Great question. Thank you so much. For SAP, we have made a lot of efforts from HR side and from management side. So the main topic we have discussed with our managers, the remain three topics, so it's a personality. So we encouraged our managers to talk to every person and to establish the schedule in which this very person can work in an efficient mode. So for example, one person can work from home, very efficient in the morning. Then he needs to have a break because his kids are doing their homework, and then he will be efficient in the evening. The other person can be efficient, during the Sunday, I mean, day during the day, and then in the evening it's not possible to call or to do something with this person. So it was very important for all of us to establish this personal approach to every employee, to see which opportunities this person has right now to work and to be efficient. This is the first topic. So the second topic, we have established very clear rules to everybody about the schedule. So this was not to put the meetings into the evening hours, not to put the meeting into Sundays and Saturdays, because the border between personal and working life was so thin that you're sitting at home, what to do? Just start to work, So we set these boundaries, and we told to people, do not put the meetings in improper time. Do not write letters to your employees in out of working times, because this is a stress for employee in case he receives the letter from his manager in the 9 p.m. Friday evening. Most of the employees started to think how to answer, what to answer, maybe to answer now, so people start to worry. And so we encouraged our managers also not to write letters outside of the working hours, to set the right schedule, to discuss the schedule. And also we try to give the human touch to the teams. So teams collected and discussed the schedules and set the new rules together. So some person was telling that I'm ready to work all the night, but do not touch me in the morning. And the second person was telling that I'm ready to work all day long, but do not touch me in the evening. It's very important, you know. So several very simple rules within the teams and within the management. It was very important to set this, how to say, safe environment that people can set up these borders between their personal and working life, even if they have only 1 meter to go from their computer to the sofa to watch TV and to hug their kids. So that was the first step. And then after, I can speak about this for hours, but from my point of view, we need to speed up and to
Just
finalize.
what's your major takeaway from this situation? How you managed to cope with it?
Uh, Honestly saying, the first thing is that also every time listen to your people, talk to your people, because honestly saying, I do not want to finalize the meeting on the said words, but in our company in Russia, we lost one lady due to COVID, and it was very important because her manager was all the time in very good connection with her. And when something went wrong, he immediately understood that she is not answering, and he immediately initiated the emergency. Unfortunately, we cannot help her because the disease was very strong. But this day-to-day cooperation helped us to help her immediately, to have this information and to support her family, all these things. So I put so many personal touch to my employees this period of time, and honestly saying, this situation make me more people oriented, one more time people oriented than I was before COVID. So that's why we need to admire our personal relationship, and we need to respect them, and to um, we are all workers, we are all employees, we are all working for the employer, but we are all humans, and the human touch is the most important topic for me personal after all this.
Yeah, thank you. I see another question from Sylvia. Thank you, Sylvia, for being active today. So what is the most appreciated support you offer to women after maternity? So once women are back from maternity leave.
Most appreciated by women, you mean?
Sylvia, what do you mean? You can also speak up. Yes, she says.
Mm-hmm. The most appreciated, honestly saying, we are doing the project during the maternity. In case women want to be in touch with the team, we do not disconnect her, so she has the opportunity to read all the news, to receive all the learning, what she wants, etc. But what important we are doing for ladies from the maternity, so they are starting their onboarding into the company as they are a newcomers. So we pay so much attention to them as it was their first working day in the company. So starting from the scratch, the onboarding, trainings, getting in touch with the colleagues, etc. Because honestly saying, in Russia, for example, maternity leave can last for 3 years. In case you're returning after 3 years into the company, it's a different company, different strategy, different people, different management, different everything, So we're treating these ladies like first day in our company. Please know everything. you know that also very important for ladies sometimes to bring some kids into the office, because you know there is a situation in the lives, then you need to do this. And you know, honestly saying, we were starting to work in SAP in Russia for the project that some co-working with kids, so that lady can have a baby together to go into office to do something, you know, like to print something, or to maybe to have some scanning, or to have some meeting, and the kid will be with her. But unfortunately, COVID broke our plans. But it seemed to me that this can benefit from the company. This can benefit to ladies very much, and also the parking place with the pink tables. It seemed to me it's also a very great thing.
Okay, that's great. So are there any further questions? I believe, Maya, we can also stop the recording. Thank you very much, Vera. And in case there are some other questions or maybe comments from the audience, we can do it all live after the recording is stopped. So thank you very much, Vera, for your answers.